Okay, is everybody in? Everybody's in the game? Yes? We're good to go? Okay. Then we will roll. It is time for March trivia, all about the month of March, things that happen in March. You'll get the theme as we go along. It'll start in 3, 2, 1. Question number 1. Who narrated the Oscar-winning documentary March of the Penguins? Is it Morgan Freeman, George Clooney, James Earl Jones, or Tom Hanks?
Of the Penguins.
If you didn't know, you could have waited until the last possible second and you would have known it is Morgan Freeman, of course, narrated March of the Penguins. You can make anything better and more epic by using Morgan Freeman's voice. That's been tried and tested now for almost 30 years. He is a national treasure. 10 of you got it right. How quickly did you answer? The real Adam, apparently greater than myself, is first. Alyssa is second. Katie is third. Off to the races here early on. Again, the questions start easier. They do get harder. I'm told a lot harder as we get later in the game. Question number 2. GreenWise products can be found at what grocery store? Aldi, Publix, Kroger, or Trader Joe's? If you're not in the Southeast, you might struggle with this one, but it appears that almost all of you know that is, of course, Publix. That is their organic section, GreenWise. It is good stuff. I've got a lot of their apples. They were BOGO this week. Great news for everybody. And 12 of you got that right. Let's check out the leaderboard. Some movement. G Squared jumps up into third place, a longtime Publix fan. Adam reigns first. Alyssa stays second, just a 7-point gap. The last time we played this game, the winner won by 41 points and took the last question to leapfrog. So there have been some very intense competitions within this game as it's been played over the course of the month. Question number 3. Which TV show dominated the Golden Globes with 4 wins? Ted Lasso, Succession, The Crown, or Schitt's Creek? Ouch. That is a absolutely savage question. The answer was The Crown. Schitt's Creek did win a couple awards, but The Crown won 4. I believe every category it was nominated in. It won an acting award, and then it won the best drama overall. If you missed the Golden Globes, that's okay. So did pretty much everybody. It was the lowest rated show they've ever had. Who is our one person that got that right?
Me.
There it is. West Coast, soon to be back on the East Coast. Katie Simpson is our one correct answer. She should jump into first place. There she is on a hot streak, the only player to get the first 3 questions right.
I need redemption after your birthday.
Your redemption is coming. I can feel it. Yes. Just stick to the early questions. Just build up some momentum there. And I should note that all those are great shows. Ted Lasso is amazing. It is the absolute necessary thing we need in this time. It's just so freaking positive. You can't help but love it. Although it should absolutely have failed. There's no reason that show should work, but for some reason it does so spectacularly. Moving on to question 4. What Green Day album was turned into a successful Broadway musical? Was it Nimrod, American Idiot, 21st Century Breakdown, or Revolution Radio? If you waited till the very end, you would have heard the opening sounds of the title track, American Idiot. Most of you knew it before that. 12 of you are correct. American Idiot was a very successful Broadway musical. That actually is what I found when I was searching this. They have an entire performance that was done in LA that is on YouTube, which I plan to watch in my basement theater. That is my new weekend getaway. But 12 of you got that right. American Idiot is a great album. Not only the title track, Boulevard of Broken Dreams. What else is on that album?
Jesus of Suburbia.
Yes.
Does it Wake Me Up Till September?
Wake Me Up When September Ends.
When September Ends.
That's the one I was looking for. Yes. And then what's one more? Holiday. Holiday is on there as well. I was stuck between Holiday and Warning. Got my albums mixed up. But luckily, you guys did not get your albums mixed up. You did very well on this question. Let's see how it changes the leaderboard. A lot of movement. Kathleen jumps into second. G is in third. K to the T remains in first place. I think Drew is on our leaderboard for the first time as well. Congratulations, Drew. Question number 5. In an effort to combat offensive stereotypes, which brand was recently reborn as Pearl Milling Company? Was it Uncle Ben's, Mrs. Butterworth, Aunt Jemima, or Eskimo Pie? That is, of course, the logo of the Cleveland Indians. We have some Indians fans on here as well today. That is Chief Wahoo, who is no longer the Indians mascot because he is offensive. It was also deemed that Aunt Jemima was too offensive, rebranded as Pearl Milling Company. Uncle Ben's is also undergoing a rebrand, and now it's just going to be Ben's. I think it's Ben's Famous or Ben's Original. And I think they're working on something new for Mrs. Butterworth as well. But to the point we are now, only Aunt Jemima has gone the full step of announcing their rebrand. How did that affect our leaderboard? Lots of movement. Denver jumps in our top 5. So too does Drew. K to the T remains first. Kathleen is in second. Katie has gotten every question right so far, the only person to do so. Question 6. How many men's basketball teams participate in March Madness? 65, 64, 72, 68. I believe as we were playing this game, Gonzaga is throttling USC, or at least that's what I was told the last time I got an update. Is that still correct? Do you know? We'll see who gets this question right first, which is almost all of you. And I knew that this game we'd do pretty well because lots of sports people who know it is 68. It, of course, forever was 64. Then they added the play-in game to make it 65. And then ultimately said, let's add another day of TV. Let's get some more teams in. That is 68 where it is today. Let's check our leaderboard. Katie continues to stay hot. It's gotten every question right. Drew is up a spot. So too is Denver, although they are separated by just 12 points. Kathleen and G Squared not far behind. 2nd through 5th place at the moment, less than 1,000 points separating them. Does anyone have an update for me on Gonzaga? Gonzaga still winning by a ton?
Yeah, they're winning 76 to 57 with 4:43.
We'll go ahead and call that. I feel comfortable. I'm going to call that. That one's over. Congratulations to Gonzaga. And if they lose, it's not my fault. Question 7. It's our first puzzle. Get ready to press the screen and move some stuff around. Put these protests in chronological order of when they occurred, beginning with the earliest. Million Mom March, March for Our Lives, March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, Inaugural Women's March. So again, at the top is going to be the oldest, the first, and then the bottom will be the most recent. You have extra time on this, so make sure you're happy with the order before you lock it in. Answers in. Time is almost up. Time is up, and nobody got this question right. Wow. Truly a savage question. The first question that no one has gotten in this game. So all streaks have now been broken. So I think you may be kicking yourself when you find out what the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom is. That is the original March on Washington, which took place in 1963. The famous one where MLK spoke long, long time ago. We become much more modern with the Million Mom March, which took place in 2000. Then, if you know your dates, the inaugural Women's March occurred the day after Trump's inauguration. So that was in January of 2017. The March for Our Lives happened after the Parkland shooting, which was in February of 2018. And then the march was in April. So in hindsight, probably could have moved some things around a little bit differently, but that's okay. This is how we learn through trivia. So we're going to award no points on that question, and we will move on quickly to number 8. Which of the following is not used in the making of a US dollar? Cotton, black ink, linen, or wood pulp? This is a delightful video from the Dallas Morning News where apparently they make a lot of money in Dallas. And about half of you got this right. So while wood pulp is used to make paper in most cases, US dollars are not actually made out of paper, which you may have just learned now. They're made using a combination of cotton and linen. And then, of course, the ink goes on top of that. But next time you try and say, give me some paper, you're not necessarily talking about money, not at least in the way that you think. 5 of you got this right. How does it affect our leaderboard? K to the T remains first. Denver hot on her heels, jumping into second place. Drew is third. Question 9. Green Bay Packers quarterback and 2020 NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers recently got engaged to what actress? Sarah Hyland, Olivia Wilde, Shailene Woodley, or Olivia Munn? This was actually an announcement he made when he won the MVP award. He got up, he thanked everybody. He thanked his fiance, who goes by the name of Shailene Woodley, who almost all of you knew as well. And to that point, no one knew that he was dating Shailene Woodley. He previously dated Olivia Munn. Also, for a while, was with Danica Patrick. He is no stranger to high-profile relationships, but we did not know about this one until he announced they had already gotten engaged. So you guys are very up on your pop culture. Good to see. That'll help you later in the game as well. How does it affect our leaderboard right now? It does not change our order. K to the T remains first, Denver is second, Drew is third. Question 10. What was the name of Seth Green's character in Austin Powers, the son of Dr. Evil? Was it Scott, Mike, Chris, or Eric?
Look, ladies and gentlemen, the jury, Exhibit A. Number 2, would you please back me up? I'm Zippy Longstocking. I keep when a problem comes along, you must zip it. Zip it good.
Wow. A clean sweep. Every single one of you got this right, which is what I was expecting when I wrote this question. I ran this game with a group of people in their mid-20s, and almost everybody got it wrong, which I found astonishing because Austin Powers is on TV all the time. But then I thought, oh, maybe they don't have cable anymore. Maybe that explains it. But you should still know Scott Evil, the son of Dr. Evil. Thank you, everyone playing this game, for restoring my faith in at least our generation, for those of you that are a part of it. I think all of you are. Let's see if that shook up the board at all. It did not. Our top 5 remains unchanged and continues to be very, very close as we move in to question 11. Ants Marching was a hit for what 90s alternative rock band? Dave Matthews Band, Sublime, Bare Naked Ladies, or Spin Doctors? Everyone, very quick to answer that one. Dave Matthews Band, a clean sweep once again. Very happy to see that. Another question that the other group I played this with almost across the board got wrong. So thank you guys for restoring my faith again in young people. I still like to consider myself among young people. Thank you for letting me continue that lie if it is in fact a lie. Did that change our leaderboard? No, it did not. But I promise you there's some questions coming soon. They're going to shake things up for you. Question 12. What is the name of the knockoff McDonald's in the movie Coming to America? Is it McDougal's, McDeever's, McDowell's, or McDuffers? For those of you that have not watched Coming to, number 2 America, it is on Amazon Prime, and it is decent. It is a passable way to spend the night, not quite the game changer that Coming to America was when it came out in 1988. And apparently most of you have caught up on both your 80s movies and your late sequels, as 9 of you got this correct. It is McDowell's. Constant references in the movie are made to McDonald's, so it's not that they couldn't use it. They just wanted to make lots of jokes about it and threaten lawsuits within the movie. So I guess it made it harder for real McDonald's to threaten to sue them. Let's check the leaderboard. Lots of movement finally. K to the T remains first. Drew jumps up in a second. G squared is third. The real Adam is fourth, and Kathleen is fifth. But again, incredibly tight game right now as we move into the back half with question number 13. At the time of its founding in 1938, the March of Dimes was initially created to combat what ailment? Rubella, polio, measles, or smallpox? 5 seconds to get your answers in. Time is up, and almost all of you got this right. Yes, it is polio. If you didn't know that, the picture here could have given you a clue. That is, of course, the speech being given by FDR, who helped start the March of Dimes to battle polio, of which he suffered from. Once polio was eradicated, they could then turn to other causes. They had a really strong brand, and they became March of Dimes, all about saving babies and women's health, which it is today. Another good number if you got that right, and it's going to lead to a big shakeup. For the first time in the game, K to T is knocked off the perch. She drops into 5th, but look how close it is above her. Kathleen is in first for the first time. G squared just 20 points behind her, and the real Adam just 7 points behind him. A lot of movement going on in that question. More of what you're likely to see here down the stretch. They are going to get more interesting. Question 14 is another puzzle. Hope you guys do better than we did the last time. I need one person to get this right. Put these green movies in order of their release, starting with the earliest. Green Book, The Big Green, The Green Mile, Fried Green Tomatoes. As you work these out, you can enjoy this trailer for the classic, The Big Green, one of your choices on this question.
Dog.
Make sure you lock the answers in once you have the order. It will not automatically accept it. Time is up. How did we do? Better. We did better because more than 0 got it right. So this is acceptable. The correct order appears in front of you right now. Fried Green Tomatoes is the earliest by a decent margin. Came out in 1991. The Big Green followed in 1995. The Green Mile came out in 1999, and Green Book is the real outlier. That did not come out until 2018, where it won Best Picture, much to the chagrin of people who enjoyed Roma for reasons I still don't totally understand. 2,000-point question, lots of chances for movement, and there it is. G squared pops up into first place for the first time tonight. Kathleen drops to second. K to T rebounds after losing first place. She's back in the 3rd position. All 3 of them now into 5 figures with their scores. Question 15. It's our first multi-select question. There's a lot of these coming up. Which of the following cities dye their waterways green on St. Patrick's Day? Savannah, Asheville, San Antonio, Chicago. Remember, you've got more time on here, still 20 seconds from now. And there is more than one answer, but there are less than 4. You're probably very confident about at least one of them. If you don't know any of the others, you're best just sticking with one and taking the partial credit. Or you could be risky because there's potentially 3,000 points to be had on this question. That's because there were 3 answers to this question, but most of you were not quite that adventurous. That's okay. You were all happy to take Chicago, understandable, and most of you also got Savannah correct. Interestingly, only one of you chose San Antonio, and San Antonio is where that tradition started. They dyed their river green, and then Chicago saw it and said, that's a cool thing we could do for St. Patrick's Day. It wasn't initially for that purpose. Now it's, of course, become a St. Patrick's Day tradition in a lot of cities, although Asheville is not one of them, and I could not get a single one of you to fall for that. I did try my best, though. I tried my best. Lots of points on this one. How would it affect the board? It gets Kathleen back into first place. The real Adam moves into 3rd, and the kid is our highest climber, up 3 places, though not quite yet in our top 5. There's still time. Lots of points to go. Stick with it. Question 16. It's another multi-select question. Which achievements are considered part of the Explorers Grand Slam? Touching the North and South Poles, seeing the new 7 wonders of the world, visiting every U.S. national park, reaching the 7 highest summits. You have 20 seconds to keep thinking about this. Again, more than one answer, but less than 4. All comes down to your confidence level. Have you heard of this? Do you think you might know it? Time is up, and a lot of you fell for the fake answers here. Correct answers are touching the North and South Poles and reaching the 7 highest summits. Visiting every U.S. national park, I just threw in there because I needed a 4th thing. Seeing the new 7 wonders of the world is cool. I have not done it, but it is not considered part of the Explorers Grand Slam, which is a very exclusive club. Only 49 people in history have touched both the North and South Poles and reached the 7 highest summits. So something to aspire to if you're looking for a little more adventure once COVID is behind us. How does that affect our leaderboard? A lot of movement again. G squared retakes first place. He's gotten 8 in a row correct after a slow start. The real Adam jumps into 2nd. Denver's up a spot into 4th. Kathleen is 3rd. K to T is 5th. Again, a very, very close game with still 9 questions to go. Question 17. The Green Zone is a heavily fortified military area in what Middle Eastern country? Is it Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, or Pakistan? This was a middling movie with Matt Damon. Came out about 2010. It's mostly known from, of course, the Iraq War. This is where shock and awe took place. This was where Saddam had basically nestled himself in, said, this is it, this is my last stand. That is the Green Zone in Baghdad. And that remains a heavily fortified military area today, luckily no longer controlled by Saddam Hussein. 5 of you got that right, so we should see some movement here. And we get a little bit. Denver jumps up into 3rd. The Kid is in our top 5 for the first time, just crossing 12,000 points. And NOLA is back in the game with 3 in a row, still trying to get that extra push to get into the top 5. But still time to do it. Lots of points to be had.
3 left.
Question 15. Multi-select question. Green Bay Packers legend Brett Favre also played for what other NFL teams? Atlanta Falcons, Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, New York Jets. Still 12 seconds. Think carefully about his very long career. Obviously, most famously was with the Green Bay Packers, but he also played for a host of other teams, and you guys knew a good number of them. The easiest one is the Vikings. That's where he went right after he left Green Bay. It was division rival and almost took him to a Super Bowl, but threw a pick 6 in the NFC Championship and lost to the Saints. That's the easiest one. The next one was the Jets. That's where he went after as he drifted off into retirement. He never played for the Chicago Bears, and 5 of you did know or guessed correctly that he actually was drafted by the Falcons, and he played his first year for the Falcons, only a handful of snaps, and he wasn't very good, so they traded him. One of a handful of great trades made in Atlanta sports history that must be the worst, although the Braves got the better end of a John Smoltz trade with the Chicago White Sox at the beginning of his career, so maybe those guys about the same age. That one sort of evened out. But no one fell for the Bears. You guys are very, very sharp tonight. Very sharp, really pushing. This is a late question too. Late question, not to trick anybody. Lots of points, I'm sure, flying all around. The board is all up in ends, and G Squared remains first. Denver jumps up to 2nd. The Kid has 10 in a row correct. He is in 3rd, while Drew is 4th, and the real Adam drops to 5th. This is a very kind question for a lot of you. A points palooza. There will be more of those. Which of the following is the official flag of Greenland? This is not a points palooza. This is quite simply, do you have any idea what the flag of Greenland looks like? Because I did not know until I thought to write this question. Time is up, and wow, most of you did know that was the flag of Greenland. Or did you yet? Show of hands who actually knew that was the flag of Greenland. No one. One. I see one person really knew that was the flag of Greenland. But that's the beauty of multiple choice. You can all just say you got it right and hope that next time I don't ask you to explain if you knew the answer. Credit to those of you that guessed right, because those are some wacky looking flags. And of course, the flag of Greenland does not have any green in it. Though I do remember from, I don't know if this is true, but I was told this in D2, the Mighty Ducks, Greenland is full of ice and Iceland is very nice. Quick plug for the Mighty Ducks Game Changers, now streaming on Disney+. Delightful, especially if you're from the 90s. They didn't even pay for that. Disney did not pay me for that. Did Disney pay us for that? No. Disney did not pay. I just checked.